Hey everyone, it's Cory McCarthy and thank you for tuning in. For all the joys associated with fatherhood, and not to mention genetically contributing to the continuation of your people, there also comes a downside of sorts that I'm not sure that many are even aware of. And before anyone jumps in here and screeches, overpopulation though, you're thinking too broadly in this situation. You need to look at the specific statistics by groups of people. Allow me to elucidate.
According to Pew Research, Asian and white fertility rates are even at 1.8 babies on average per woman per lifetime, whereas Hispanics have an average of 2.4 babies per woman per lifetime, and blacks an average of 2.1 babies per woman per lifetime.
In other words, Hispanics have approximately 29% more children than whites or Asians, and blacks have approximately 15% more.
And that's not even taking into account the rate of abortions by Hispanics and blacks, which are at 19% and 35.6% respectively, at least in the United States. And that's despite Hispanics and blacks making up 17.8% and 13.3% of the population respectively in the United States, according to the United States Census Bureau.
In other words, Hispanics and blacks have a rate of abortion outrageously high respective to the size of their individual populations. Yet both groups still enjoy higher live birth rates than Asians or whites. Just imagine how large their populations would be if they didn't engage in high rates of abortion.
And if we look at the broader scale, you will see that Asia has the largest population globally, followed by Africa, followed by Europe, which is approximately 61% of the population size of Africa, which has 27% of the population of Asia.
Keep in mind, those are population totals. They don't take into account population by specific geography, like East Asia versus South Asia, or non-native racial populations in any of those areas like Asians, Arabs, or blacks living in Europe.
For example, there are approximately 5 million sub-Saharan Africans living in Europe as of 2017. That number is rapidly growing. Whites, not counting those with only partial European descendancy, make up only 11.5% of the total global population as of 2017. We are very much a global minority. Also, as of 2017, Japan is experiencing falling birth rates, despite Asia as a whole making up the largest global population.
My point is, some groups of people enjoy a population boom, while others experience declining birth rates, so you cannot overgeneralize. Ethnic Europeans and Japanese, for example, need to have more babies.
Keep in mind, your heritage, even down to the things your ancestors did or didn't do, that is all etched into your DNA. Don't let that go extinct. Perhaps one of your ancestors was a fierce Celtic warrior, or an intrepid Viking seafarer, or an honored Japanese samurai.
That person, including his actions and achievements, lives on in your blood today. So yes, ethno-nationalism and ancestral pride have scientific merit. Even if you have no control over what group of people or land that you were born into.
However, I'm fine with degenerate, self-hating, West-hating, cucked-out, far-left SJWs, Marxist, and third-wave feminists removing themselves from the gene pool.
If you're one of those weak, low-quality types, do the world a favor and disappear. Now, with that out of the way, let me get on to the actual topic.
Research demonstrates that fathers have significantly lower testosterone both upon waking and in the evening versus men who are not fathers.
How much lower? Well, the rate of decrease does seem to vary by groups of people.
For instance, in the Philippines, fathers experience 18.3% lower waking levels and 22.3% lower evening levels versus non-fathers. Whereas the Hadza people from north-central Tanzania experience 30% lower waking levels and 47% lower evening levels versus non-fathers. And among men from Boston in the United States, waking levels were 42% lower versus non-fathers.
Now, why am I telling you this? It seems like a massive downside to becoming a dad, right? Well, in short, lowered levels of testosterone make you a better dad, actually. Less aggression, less risk-taking, with more investment, more bonding, and more nurturing of the child. Also, less likelihood of a man seeking out another woman, thus lending to a more stable family unit. But for those men who lead and enjoy an active lifestyle, this is something to keep in mind. For instance, if the average testosterone levels among males is 679 nanograms per deciliter, a 42% decrease would bring that level down to 394 nanograms per deciliter,
which is still within the normal, healthy range.
And as I've discussed in videos before, with research, within the normal range, there is no difference in muscle building capacity, regardless if you have bottom end value of 270 nanograms per deciliter or a top end value of 1070 nanograms per deciliter. But those lower testosterone, even within the healthy range, will find it easier to store fat and harder to lose it. This is likely why the dad bod got its name. So if you're an active male who lifts consistently, eats healthfully, gets plenty of sleep, maintains a healthy body fat percentage between 8 and 20%, and tries to keep stress levels at bay, you shouldn't need to worry about sabotaging your gains, but you will likely need to work harder to lose fat or to keep it off. But if you start experiencing signs of low T, I do recommend that you visit an endocrinologist and get tested. From there, you can explore treatment options to ensure a better quality of life for you and ultimately your family. Anyway, let me know what you all think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like button and share it. This way it can find a greater audience. Furthermore, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and ensure that you hit the bell button to keep on top of my updates. With that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.